Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eugene, your tutor on this channel. Now, I want to give a special welcome to those who have been tuning in time and time again, and a special welcome to you if you are new as well. Now, I hope you have been sharing the videos, you have been liking them, you have been commenting on them. I've seen quite a few comments, very interesting, and I really appreciate the kind words and the support. And please, very important, if you have found these lessons interesting and you think they might be of benefit to others, share them, and please subscribe. Press the like button as well, so that when a new video is released, you will be the first to be notified. All right, so today, for today's lesson, we are going to look at some sentences. Those sentences, all of them have a word that is incorrect. Now, first of all, we need to identify those words. Then the next thing we're going to do is to make the necessary corrections. So that's our mission for today. So sit back, relax, pay attention, and I hope you enjoy this lesson, and at the end you would have learned something. So let's get straight into the lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to find the error. Each of these sentences has an error, and what we are going to do is to find those errors, correct them, and we're going to know the reason why they are wrong. All right. The first sentence says, "You're welcome." The correct thing to say is, "You are welcome," and we could shorten that, make it into a contraction, and say, "You're welcome." So this is not correct. So we should have Y-O-U-R-E. That's the correct thing to have here, with an apostrophe there. So this is a contraction. All right. So the correct thing to have is "you're welcome," which actually means "you are welcome." So "you're" there is incorrect. Many people often confuse them. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, which is "you are" contracted, and Y-O-U-R sound the same way. So many people confuse them. All right, number two. Number two says, "I'm not going to class." I'm not going to class. Now, is a verb. It usually goes with as an auxiliary verb or a helping verb. An auxiliary verb is a helping verb. It goes along with a main verb. So when you have "I'm not going to class," that is incorrect. So would be incorrect. So the correct thing to say is, "I am not going to class." So we could say I am. Okay? So I am. So "I'm not going to class" instead of "I'm not going to class." All right? So people tend to mix them up. All right, number three. Number three says, "Give me their books." Now this sentence is showing possession. Give me their books. The books, meaning the books that belong to them. Give me their books. Now the possessive pronoun for "there" is not T-H-E-R-E. T-H-E-R-E is referring to like a place, a position, like you say, "he's over there." Okay, so therefore we could use T-H-E-R-E here. It would be incorrect. The correct thing to use there is T-H-E-I-R. So this is incorrect. See if I can find a space here to put it. T-H-E-I-R. The correct thing to put there is T-H-E-I-R, meaning that is showing possession. T-H-E-I-R, not T-H-E-R-E. All right, number four. Number four says, "You was a good boy." You was a good boy. That would be incorrect grammar in English, okay? Because You is always followed by a plural verb, and was is singular. The plural form of was would be were. Okay, so you wouldn't say you was, you would say you were, because you is always followed by a plural verb. So was is incorrect. We'd have to put were. Good. Next sentence. Between you and I, the answer is wrong. Whenever we have the preposition between, and we have you following it, and we have to choose between I or me, we say me. You don't say between you and I. Always say between you and me. Many people confuse that all the time. People say between you and I, because they're not sure which to use. Well, no, you know, you never say between you and I. Always say between you and me. So between, when you have the sentence, between you, and you have to choose between I and me, always remember that you use me. Never say between you and I. So I is incorrect. The correct thing to have is me. All right. So let's move on to some others. Okay, let's look at number 6. It reads like this. I should have went to the party. I should have went to the party. Now, what makes this sentence wrong? Many people speak like this. I often hear people speak like this. But there's something there that is wrong. Let's look at it. Now, went is the past tense of go. So you go now, but you went yesterday. Okay? But when you have what we call a helping verb like have coming before this verb here, which is incorrect, then we are going to use what we call the past participle of the verb. The verb can come in 3 forms. The present form, which is go in this case. Went is the past form, and the past, what we call the past participle, would be gone. So the verb went, it has 3 forms. The present form is go. Went is past, meaning it happened already. And then you have what we call the past participle, which would be gone. So whenever you have a helping verb, then you have to use the past participle. Whenever you have a helping verb like have coming in front, then you have to use the past participle. So you wouldn't say I should have went, because have is suggesting that you have to use the past participle of the verb. You couldn't say I should have go or I should have went. I should have gone. Have suggests that. Okay? So went is wrong. Should be gone. All right, let's move on to number 7. She walked soft across the room. Anything wrong with that? Yes, because every one of them has an error. But what is the error in the sentence? She walked soft across the room. Soft is the incorrect word. Why? Now, she walked, then soft is being used here to describe how she walked. Words that tell how an action is done, they are called adverbs. Okay? And adverbs usually end with ly. Adverbs usually end with ly. So instead of saying she walked soft across the room, you would say she walked softly across the room. So soft is the incorrect word here, so we should change it to softly. So instead of saying she walked soft across the room, we would say she walked softly across the room, because this is supposed to be an adverb, and adverbs usually end with ly. So, and the adverbs usually tell how the action is done. All right. She walked. How did she walk? She walked softly. Not she walked soft. She walked softly. Because remember, the adverb usually ends with ly. So the sentence should read, she walked softly across the room. Let's go on to number 8. That hat complements her dress. Now, the word complement can be spelled two ways, and both ways have different meanings. So, in the case of that hat, compliments would be incorrect. All right? So, let's just mark that as incorrect. Now, we have another complement which is spelled complement. So therefore, that will be the correct one. I'm going to explain why. All right, so the correct thing to say or to have is complements. Now, the word compliments is like you're praising somebody, right? You're saying nice things about somebody, you compliment them. Compliments. That's when you're saying something nice about somebody. Compliments. That's that compliment. But the word comple, this one in red here, the correct one, is when you use something to enhance something else. You make it look better by adding it to it. So in this case, that hat complements her dress. That means when she puts that hat on, it makes her dress look even better. It complements her dress. So bear that in mind, that compliments, which is the wrong one here, is when you're praising, you're looking nice in your dress. Your dress looks nice. Here we go. Number 11. It reads like this. I got my driver's license today. I got my driver's license today. Now the word license can be spelled Licence as it is here, and it can be spelled Licence. One is a noun, Licence is a noun, and Licence is a verb. Right? But based on the context that the word is used in here, let's see how it goes. I got my driver's license today. Now that's a thing. That's a document that you actually got. So that is something. So that's a noun. So therefore, Licence would be incorrect because that's the verb. So that is incorrect. So we have to correct that. So this is incorrect. So it's L-I. Let me use the red marker for that. So it's Licence. Okay, so I got my driver's license today. That's the document. So it has a C, not an S. All right, number 12. I bought some stationery at the store. I bought some stationery at the store. Now, if you notice, this stationery is spelled Stationary. Stationary. That is incorrect. Now, we have two stationery. We have one that is spelled this way, and we also have another one which is spelled Stationery. Now, this refers to standing still, not moving. You call it stationary. You're in a stationary position, that means you're not moving. If the car is in a stationary position, it's not moving. If you're in a stationary position, you're not moving. So anything that's not moving is stationary. The tree in the ground is stationary, it doesn't move. Alright? But the stationery that you buy at the store, like your office supplies, like your pens, your papers, your markers, and ink and stuff like those, that is spelled Stationery. So based on how the sentence is structured here, I bought some stationery at the store, it will suggest that you are talking about STATIONERY, not the one that does move. Okay, so we need to correct that one. So it's STATIONERY. All right, so that will be the correct stationery to use, STATIONERY. Next one, the teacher of my class. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that it's not a sentence. It's a fragment of a sentence, a part of a sentence, because it does not have a verb. And a sentence is supposed to have what we call a subject and a verb. The subject is the thing that is doing the action, and the verb is the action word. So the teacher is supposed to be doing an action. The teacher is the subject. But there's no action. The teacher of my class does what? Nothing. It ends there. So this is an incomplete sentence, which is called a sentence fragment. A fragment is a part of something. So therefore, that is what makes this sentence incorrect. So if you say the teacher of my class is walking, then that you would add a verb to it. Is walking would be the complete verb there. So that would be a complete sentence. So if you get what I mean there. All right. The next one, he looks weird. Now the word weird is an exception to the IE rule. Now, in a previous lesson, I explained to you how to use I and E when they come behind each other in a word. The rule is that you use I before E in words, except when there's a C coming before the I and the E. When there's a C coming before the I and the E, you use EI, but there are exceptions to that rule. So this is an exception, right? Because I told you that whenever the I and the E comes behind each other, you normally put the I in front of the E. But in the case of weird, it's an exception to that rule, because from time to time we have exceptions to rules. And that is why you have to learn all these little things in English, because you have a lot of exceptions which you need to know, and this is one of them. So instead of saying WIERD, which would follow the rule that we pointed out, we say WEIRD. So WIERD would be incorrect. All right, and the final one, we bought some furnitures. Okay, what's wrong here? We bought some furnitures. Now, what is wrong here is that furniture is an uncountable noun, and uncountable nouns are always singular. You don't add S to them. And if you look back at the lesson, if you go back and look at the lesson that I did on countable and uncountable nouns, you will see where I mentioned furniture as one of those uncountable nouns. So you wouldn't say we bought some furnitures, because you don't add S or ES to uncountable nouns. They are always singular. So therefore, you don't say furnitures. So the incorrect word here is furnitures. So the correct thing to put is furniture without the S. All right, so that is the correct thing to say. That's all for today, folks. I hope you have found this lesson interesting and useful. Please don't be afraid to share. Please share with anybody who you think might need the information that was taught in this lesson. Whether a friend, a relative, just about anyone. This channel doesn't have any age limit, because no matter where you go in the world or what institution you go to, basic English will always be basic English. And if you don't understand the basics, then you are going to have trouble understanding at a higher level. So these lessons are very important. Even if you think you know it already, as a refresher isn't a bad thing. Alright, so let me remind you again, please remember to like, share, please leave a comment, let me know what you think about these lessons. Alright, and always I would appreciate your subscription. Alright, it will go a far way in helping the channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.